There
Good
he
evening.
is.
Hey, there he is. Hey,
Hey,
Ron. How
how
you
is
doing?
everybody? Good to see you.
Hanging in there. Ron, I got something funny I think you'll laugh at. Since you're the
Okay.
comedian, I held it for you. Okay, so yesterday Biden dropped, and it was literally National Ice Cream Day.
Oh, really? I
Yes,
did not know
I'm
that.
not even kidding you. I looked it up because I saw a meme and I was like, holy crap, it literally was National Ice Cream Day.
That is wow. Yeah, that is some interesting alignment there. I've been so just putting aside that, my politics are far to the left of the Democratic Party as of both of yours, but like just looking at it objectively, has it blown your minds the way like the Democratic Party inside is fighting about this and how some of them are saying that like they sabotage Joe Biden. Like just from the guy's sick. The dude is ill. Like how someone gave this analogy, and this was someone saying that they were out of line for what they did to Joe Biden. They were like if you're on a plane and it's about to crash, do you replace the pilot with the first officer? And I was just like, if the pilot is incoherent and may not realize they're flying a plane, yes, that's exactly what you
Oh
do.
my God.
Like, it's just been interesting for me to watch. Just like I don't understand what the conflict is.
Well, I
Like,
think, I mean, this is like made me think about this too. It makes your head spin. And I think a lot of it is that people realize that Biden is not flying the plane. There's
right.
a whole other crew which is flying the plane, a crew which is not publicly accountable, that answers to no one, and it's a really dangerous crew to have. But, this is just more commentary on the state of the American, political system. It is toxic throughout. There's nothing about it that is sane or rational. And there's such a incredibly toxic spin campaign going on right now. They're really trying to make you forget that this system is inherently really, really sick, and that there is no difference there's zero daylight between Kamala Harris and Joe Biden. There is no change here whatsoever except for a mask, but the policies are exactly the same. And it's like the donors are just going bananas here, contributing this $85 million, the record ever. And it's like, we're supposed to celebrate that. That's supposed
It
to be
could
like
be
proof
just
of
10
how
people,
powerful they
though.
are. What's that?
It could just be 10 people, though. We
Yeah,
don't know.
exactly. Exactly. Right. I mean, this could all come through super PACs and victory funds.
Right.
Right.
And if
Oh,
that
totally.
is the case, and in particular victory funds, because I don't think they're counting super PACs here. I think this is like victory funds, which is a magical solution by which you can donate. It's at least, I don't know what the limit is now. It was 600,000 was the limit back in 2016. But I've heard since RFK proudly announced that, isn't it great
Oh,
that non-uniparty can also,
ugh.
um, can also sell out, can sell its soul. Isn't that wonderful that uniparty can now be a vehicle for big corporate money to assert its stranglehold? Isn't that great? Let's all cheer, because there is equality of corruption, basically,
Yeah.
a legally corrupt system of bribery. It now applies to everybody. But that's victory funds. Victory funds now have a limit which is somewhere over $1 million. So it could have been just 85 people.
Yeah.
Who,
But
Very
it
well could
appears,
be.
I mean, it's that
but it's
the
not.
people, they're just like, see, everyone does love her. It's great. She's going to win.
Yeah.
She's going
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
win. But
Yeah. They're asserting power around this. And
yeah,
what are they celebrating? They're just celebrating the stranglehold of big money that's just bigger than ever, which is not about us. It's like the needs, the state of emergency that Anthony was just talking about. Everybody's life is just hanging by a thread right now. And there's no mention of that. We're too busy talking about the immigrant threat from the Republicans, and then the Democrats are talking about the Republican threat. And that's like the beginning and end of the conversation. And this has nothing to do with the absolute crisis that we, the people, face every day from the minute we open our eyes in the morning and lift our head from the pillow. We are just fighting the crisis. Everyone.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they create a fantasy. I mean, you have people going, "Oh yeah, the economy's great. Things are," and it's like, what are you looking? Oh, jobs are up. Well, yeah, but you need 3 and 4 of them to survive. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
and it's the same talking points every 4 years, and it's the same. And yeah, this whole thing with Biden, I mean, it's just been such a charade because they're just like, oh, well, they didn't want him. Look, the donors were fine with Rip Van Reagan. They were worried Rip Van Reagan couldn't win because he's clearly unwell. So now they have Kamala, which again, policy wise, you're right. There is no difference. And look, there's not going to be, it's not like they were going to have a straight up primary where there were going to be like a left wing option or anything like that. And we all knew this. It's like, well, they'll just replace him with someone who's not ill. It will be like someone not sick. Same policies.
But with identity
not ill.
politics to exploit it as well.
Yeah.
Which is
Presumably,
something,
yeah.
you know, I've never seen you do that in 2016 or now. I have never once seen you say first woman president, first Jewish president, because
Yeah.
you know that you run on issues. And it is so infuriating as a woman when I have women who sit there and say, you're a sexist if you don't like Hillary. You're a sexist if you don't like Kamala. And it's like, I would love a first woman president, but I would like them to actually be good. Like to actually be have character and be a good person. That would be nice.
And to like actually address the state of emergency that is like swamping us, from all directions. And the current zoo, this 12-ring circus going on, is just a complete distraction from what really should be front and center now. It's just all about creating a party light atmosphere and this feel good thing for big money to, have its worldview affirmed here. It's just such BS.
Absolutely.
Well,
Ron,
now there's a little bit of energy in the horse race, though. Like now there's a little bit like there's some new drama going on. I mean, it really is like a sitcom, and it started out as just a sequel to a movie where no one liked the first one, but now there's kind of an interesting plot twist. And a plot twist I would like to see? I would like to see a plot twist where everybody gets to debate. That's the plot twist I would like to see.
Yeah.
I would like to see you up there, Jill. And even though I don't like the guy at all, I would like to see RFK up there. Even I think and the libertarian, Chase Soliver, or and then Claudia. I mean, they should all be up there and actually exchange ideas and actually. Dare I say, look like a parliamentary system. That while those systems are not utopia, there's no such thing. They work a lot better than we do. I was in Italy the day Giorgia Meloni got elected. I'm not that big of an
I was there 2 days after.
Oh, really? I was so my cousin my Italian cousin got married, and it coincided with their election. So I was in Italy the day she got elected. Not a lot of happy people that day. They just elected a fascist. It was the lowest voting turnout since Mussolini. Not a lot of happy people. But I gotta say, as an American, it really put a certain perspective for me, because the way their system works, it is a more parliamentary style system. There are more parties that do have a say, and the left flank, which is Verdi Sinistra, which means green left, they got like I think 10 or 11 seats. And I was just sitting there and I was like, that would be like if the Green Party got 11 congressional seats. I'd be ecstatic. I would be dancing in the streets if the Green Party got 11 seats. I'd be going nuts. And that was bad for them. They were like, oh God, this election was terrible. And I'm like, you guys, like, oh man, and that's why I green entered not too long ago, because I'm like, look, our system is not set up that something like that can happen. So I want to fight for that change. And, you said this to me a while ago, Jill. It's like, if you really want to fight for that change, you got to join up.
Yeah. It's not, it's party politics is a very mixed bag, very flawed animal, but, pick your poison here, I mean, and now we know, now that the Democrats have actually gone public and have publicly advertised for their infiltrators and their spies, it really raises questions in my mind about some of the dysfunction that, that we've been fighting within the Green Party, and how much of these, crazy, factions are on somebody's payroll. And, I think that's not rocket science at all. And you never know what's just kind of plain old kookiness, and, what's an infiltrator. You never know, but you have to, you have to be a part of the struggle if this is just the nature of the beast. And you have to fight for an organization that's gonna represent us. And right now, there are a couple of progressive organizations, and they're great. And in my view, we should all be working together right now. We need to take a lesson from France. This is how we beat fascism. And I would love to see us hold a conference and hear from progressives about how should we handle this, because what the progressives and the centrists decided to do in France, together with Macron, they decided to use the candidate strongest in that district and rally behind one candidate who could then win. I mean, if we had ranked choice voting, we wouldn't have to negotiate like that. But why don't we work together on ranked choice voting and proportional representation? And in the meantime, let's fight fascism with a unified front right now.
Yep.
Why are we running three presidential campaigns? I mean, to my mind, this is nuts. And I never would have jumped in myself had it not been the fact that we had all the ballot lines and no one else was going to get on the ballot for a majority of voters. So we kind of had to do that. But,
well, I had Shamu on a few months ago, and I was like, so? And he's like, no, I can't. And I'm like, no. So, I mean, look, I know you're not going to tell me, but I'm just going to ask, who's the VP?
I hope we can announce that in the next couple of weeks. We're still in.
Oh, I thought you were going to say days. I'm like,
oh, if only.
But you do have one.
Well, not yet. We have a couple of really great possibilities.
I'm sorry, you guys. It's not me. Apologies. People ask me to run. They're like, even if it's city council, I'm like, have you heard my mouth? No.
Yeah, I'm the same way. People ask me, so someone asked, they're like, why don't you run for office? And I was like, look, if I ever run for office, only two people on the planet could benefit. The first person who would benefit the most is my opponent. The second person who would benefit is myself, because I would have a free marketing team for however long the campaign was.
There you go.
This is the United States. They would find plenty of clips of Rob Placone saying he's an abolitionist when it comes to prisons, when it comes to the police. Rob Placone saying he's against private property. All those things are true. When you actually listen to what it actually means, it, in my opinion, sounds very, very reasonable. But we live in an age of sound bites. So that would be used as, character assassination, and I would have no chance in hell at anything. So my opponent would have a field day, but I would get, some free publicity online out of the whole thing. So that's why I don't run for office.
I should just put in a quick word here because I have an interview.
Yes.
Coming up soon. So I will have to draw to a close here shortly. And let me just throw out again where people can donate, which is JillStein2024.com. We have to crowdsource this because we are the one pro-worker, anti-war, anti-genocide climate emergency campaign that is on the ballot for a majority of voters. And we are there already. We need to be on the ballot for all voters if we're going to overcome the this effort to silence and marginalize these movements. And remember, when these movements join together in a race that has three candidates, which are pro-genocide and pro-war, that's a four-way split. If you divide the vote four ways, you can win it with as little as 26% of the vote. In a poll that just came out today, we were at 4% nationally. So, and among people under 30, I think it was, I think it's 6%. So the numbers are starting to come up where people hear about the campaign. And if we get on the ballot, then the media will be forced to cover us. That is, if we're on the ballot for all voters, they will be forced to cover us. And we're going to see people really, people are very hungry for what we're talking about. So this is a very powerful, irrepressible agenda. So if we stand up together to fight, we are an unstoppable force, whether we get into the White House or we simply get into a stronger position to then continue the fight. The fight doesn't stop on election day. It's only just begun, and we have no choice but to fight it, because the ship is going down and it's not going to save itself. We are the ones we've been waiting for. So let's stand up and fight. And thank you all so much. Thank you, Ron, for coming on. Thank you so much, Joy.
Good to see you, Jill. Thanks for everything you do. Always a pleasure to see you.
Yeah, you too. So
you're so welcome. And thank you all for donating. That's so important. I am actually going to release this to everyone now and continue to ask people to donate. You guys all donated at least $10. You got to watch it live. Thank you so, so much. It means a lot to us. Jill, this is actually the 8-year anniversary of Occupy DNC, believe it or not.
Wow.
First time I met you, first time I saw you speak, that hellish week. So hopefully we don't have to go through that again, but we will if we have to, because we are going to continue fighting for Palestine and for the working people, for sure. So thank you again so much for running. Thank you for doing an incredible campaign. And thank you for joining me and allowing me to try and do what I can to put a dent in what is needed.
Thank you. Thank you all so much. Let's all keep up the fight. Unstoppable together. Free Palestine.
Much love, everyone.
Free the USA. Take care. All best.
Bye-bye.